Welcome to Fearless and Focused. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Casey.
And we're here to share bold stories, real talk,
and strategies to help you push past fear and level up.
Let's get fearless and focused.
But I will say, I think the main few things, if I could, just kind of pull them off the top of my head. Number one, I think clarity is really big. I think people are sometimes unsure of really what they want. I think indecision is a real thing. I think a lot of people stay on the fence because they're unsure of making a decision. A lot of people have a hard time making a decision because people live in fear of making the wrong decision. I have a belief that has served me and my clients really well, and that is there's no wrong decision, and indecision is still a decision. And for me personally, one of the things that I believe is time is the most valuable asset on the planet. And when we sit in indecision, we're wasting that. And if you make a decision, it's just feedback or information on how to make the next decision. So that's the first thing that I would say. I say the second thing, and this is definitely among a lot of women for sure. Guys have different sets of issues, but women for sure, one of the things that I see oftentimes is they're so afraid of what other people are going to think. They are afraid about, the wrong decision for their children, their spouses, their families. Most people say that they really care about what everyone else thinks. But when you really boil it down, it's probably, the 5-10 closest people to you that you actually really care about. And one of the things that this isn't really marketable for sales, but really what I help people do is change stories, patterns, and habits that are keeping them stuck and that ultimately are not getting them what they want. And in order to get something different, we have to do something different. And I will say to you that most women in particular have these stories, patterns, and habits from perhaps the closest ones to them, their parents, a loved one, maybe it was a coach, maybe it was a mentor when you were a kid, but you believe something to be true. And a lot of people are really stuck in that. And my job ultimately is to help them get through that in order to get a different result. So those are probably the top two things: worrying about what other people, probably the people closest to you. And then also too, just the unsure of what you actually want and afraid to make a decision in the fear of making the wrong decision.
Right. So I wrote down two things you said that really hit me. Like the indecision. And it sounds like to me, you're that person. Cause sometimes especially if you're an entrepreneur, that's a lonely road. And sometimes you just need someone to bounce the ideas off of and am I crazy or is this okay? I need someone sometime that's just Brooke, you know what you're doing. Pull the fucking trigger. Yes. Sometimes you just need that person in your corner. So hearing you say that, it kind of seems yes, you're that person for those people that don't have someone. The other thing is, growth guilt. I know I have struggled with that personally because when you decide that you're going to level up and make a difference, you're kind of on a playing field with your family and friends, and then you decide you're going to grow, and then there's a gap, and then you're but I'm up here and I feel, weird, and do I make myself small? Hell no. But that's been a struggle for me, and I don't know if that's a struggle for your clients or not. Is if that's something you run into with people feeling guilty of I'm growing, but I kind of feel I'm leaving others behind, and how do I get past that and not feel guilty about it?
Thanks for tuning in to Fearless and Focused. Remember, success is not about being perfect. It's about showing up, staying bold, and taking action.
If you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration.
Keep chasing your dreams, staying fearless, and keeping your focus strong.
Until the next time, stay
fearless and focused.